Come on now. Hey, gang, it's Thursday. And you know what that means? That means it's time for another weekly update. And did you know that a whale's breath is one of the worst smells on the planet? It's true. And it makes sense because your breath would stink pretty badly as well if you ate 2 tons of krill and then held your breath for 45 minutes. But I can tell you, because of my recent vacation that I just took to an undisclosed location, that whale's breath smells terrible. Now you might be thinking, Jeff, how in the world are you going to connect whale's breath smelling bad to something spiritual to encourage us today as an illustration? And I would say, I have no idea. But in fact, I wanted to try something on this update, and that is start a contest for Help Pastor Jeff Write a Sermon Illustration using whales. Okay? Whales the animal, not Wales the country. Although if you want to do that, that could be clever as well. So here's the contest. Come up with a spiritual application of something to do with whales and email it to me. jfoot@gracelongmont.org, and we'll see about that on an email day, and we'll give out a prize to the best one. So that's your challenge today. And again, you might be thinking, well, Jeff, isn't that just crowdsourcing your job? And I'd be like, what? No, this is interactive. See, you can help me and also help you, I think, maybe get into the mind of how to use your experiences as a way to tell gospel truths to people or tell people about God. So it's a good exercise and totally a way that I can get a cheap sermon illustration out of you. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Thank you for the support as a church, for allowing Abby and I to go away for our 25th anniversary to an undisclosed location. It was a great time. It was really great. And it's great to come back to things running smoothly and a great attitude around here. It's really fun. I'm really excited about what's happening next week. This Sunday, we're going to be introducing our candidate for the care pastor position here. So you'll learn all about him and you'll get a chance to meet him. And then next week is going to be full of chances to meet him, to talk to him, to get to know him. And then on Sunday the 8th, he will be preaching in our worship services, 8:30 and 10:15. And so you'll want to be a part of that. We'll be having a membership vote to call or not to call on the 15th after the second service. So please, even if you come to the first service on the 15th, come back or log in on the YouTube link that we'll have for members so that your vote can be heard at that point as well. There's a lot of other things going on. There's a women's retreat at the end of August, and we're going to need you to RSVP for that. So office@gracelongmont.org for that. There's so many things to be on the lookout for in your Friday email if you get that. If you don't, let us know, because that's kind of our announcement email that goes out once a week, since we haven't really been doing bulletins lately because of COVID, and we're going to try and figure out what we do for that moving forward. But if you want to keep up, besides just these very informative and very charming YouTube video updates, make sure you're on that email list on Fridays, because there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Pastor John is here, and he's starting up the youth ministry, and there's a lot of youth events happening in August. There's a lot of children's stuff. VBS was a huge success, I'm told, and thank you for all who volunteered. It was really great. We are back in the swing of things. We're going to be starting a lot of fall programming towards the end of August. Adult ed on Sundays during the services. We're going to have Sunday school classes again. We're going to have Wednesday night classes starting up in the fall again. Women's ministry is moving well. Children's ministry, there's so much. And we might even be hiring a new guy to be a pastor with us, which will be great. We'll be fully staffed again and ready to hit the fall running, and that's great. But I do want to say, let's not go Mach 3 too soon. As we are spooling up and there's momentum going on here, and as the summer wraps up, I know summer's going to wrap up soon, but as summer wraps up, let's make sure that we're still doing the few things well. And so that's my encouragement to you if Grace is your church home, or maybe just in your life. Make sure you're doing the important few things as well as you can before you start worrying about the 50 other things that you could be doing that might get in the way. There's a saying for that: don't sacrifice the great for the good. Something like that. Anyway, it's a good principle, and I try to follow it in my life, and we need to follow it here at the church, and that's my input for you. So until next time, I'm Jeff, and you're you, and God is God, and whale's breath is terrible.